Welcome to From the Speaker's Desk. My name is Melissa and we are sitting here with Speaker Sean Snyman. So, Speaker, I wanted to ask, we are now in the period of getting counted for the national census for the first time in 10 years. What would you say is the importance of getting counted and why should we as the residents of George participate in the census?
Melissa, I'm glad you asked the question because I don't think that the public understands the benefits of it and the reason why government has come up with the census. If you can remember correctly, the last census was done in 2011. Now, for those of you that might not understand the whole concept of the census is when the government goes out to get data on the population of the country. And the information that is taken in is then used for planning. So the importance, especially now in modern society, is that we cannot plan anything without the figures. There's an old adage in English that says you can't manage what you can't measure. And I think the census normally comes out in every 10 years. So it's not untoward that there's nothing suspicious about why now. Yes, we've had a COVID, but there's a lot of ideas and people going out there negatively saying, oh, it's a conspiracy. It's not a conspiracy. And it's literally a fact of getting the information required by not just government. Remember, the information goes to Stats SA, it doesn't go to the government itself. And those statistics are used for everything from business planning to infrastructure, municipalities, and all that sort of stuff. So it's vital that every single household completes the census form. That's in a nutshell.
So some of the questions that I've encountered when I did when I got counted online, asked if I had a toilet that flushes within my house or whether or not I have running water in my house. What is the relevance of this question?
Excellent question. Again, we have the conspiracy theorists saying that we're going to be targeted and stuff like that. And in actual fact, I want to hone down to the nitty-gritties of everything. A lot of people don't understand that a municipality's responsibility is for core service delivery. And part of that delivery is obviously looking at the living standards of people. We are responsible for roads, we're responsible for sanitation, water, and stuff like that. So we can't plan as a municipality unless we know what the need is. So obviously that all goes towards the budgeting, the IDP eventually and stuff like that. But more importantly, people need to understand that the way that municipalities, local government and provincial government and national government, we all work together, but we all have different responsibilities. So the importance of the questions may seem irrelevant to a person on the street. But what a lot of people don't realize is that national government gives municipalities funding to assist them with aiding the poor. Municipalities can't carry those costs themselves, bearing in mind that the only income, and I've had a lot of people saying to me, but we all pay tax. Yes, we all do pay tax, but it's the taxes which come from government and government grants, which are then given to the municipalities in order to cover the costs of social upliftment, housing, and all those sort of things. So basically, we all know that there are certain grants for indigenous regarding tariffs, and we help as a municipality, and everyone thinks it's a municipality, but in actual fact, it's the money that we get from government that subsidizes that, so that the ratepayers and the other people are basically paying for what they get, but the government is helping the poor. Taking other factors into consideration as well. One of the questions that they asked there, for example, is how many people are living in your house? I mean, the obvious thing there is that we have a massive shortage of housing in South Africa. George is no different. And governments, businesses, municipalities cannot determine how much space is needed, how many houses are needed, what's the infrastructure that's needed, and basically getting back to the same fact that we need the numbers. And it's no good thumb sucking, because at the end of the day, every single person has the responsibility to be counted at the end of the day. It's got nothing to do with how much tax you're paying, it's not about that. This is about planning for a better future for everybody and understanding the figures, because we need to know when government talks about the unemployment rate. Currently, they're thumb-sucking because there are no figures exactly to say how many people are unemployed. There are no figures saying, or the figures that they're using are from 2011. Municipalities are getting grants based on 11 years ago. And we all know George is definitely growing, one of the fastest growing towns in the Southern Cape. But we cannot cater for everybody because we don't know how many people we actually need to cater for. And for that purpose, I'm asking from the speaker's desk that everybody gets involved. It takes 5 minutes. But the result of your 5 minutes will change lives across George, because finally we'll be up to date and we can actually see the exact figures and how much help is needed, where it is needed, not only geographically, demographically, but for a city to plan for a better city for all.
Okay. I heard as well that you were speaking about indigents and grants. I wanted to ask you, why in the census do they ask me what my income is and whether or not I have indigent status, or what is the relevance of that as well?
Actually, that is probably one of the most important questions from a governmental point of view, bearing in mind that it is their responsibility to help people uplift themselves. So for those that don't understand the terminology indigent, it has nothing to do with anything apart from your financial status in life. In other words, if you are a SASSA grant holder, bearing in mind that 90%, or in fact all indigents, people that qualify for indigent, are probably SASSA grant earners. So by putting that on there, the government will also understand how to budget for the amount of people that need to be helped. Because again, we have a grant system, but the grant is only fulfilled by a budget. And you can't fulfill it and then end up with a deficit based on the fact that you didn't cater properly. So anybody, and the way that George as a municipality works on the terminology indigent currently is you're looking at people that earn a certain amount of money, and below that they are qualified as indigent.
Okay. And speaker, lastly, if I want to get counted but I don't see field workers in my area, how can I then ensure that I do my part?
It's quite simple really, and I've had a lot of people saying that they haven't seen the people in green yet. So time is running out. What I would ask every single person to do, it takes 5 minutes to go online. We will post the link, but for those of you that are quite good, it's quite simple. It's getcounted, one word, .statsa, or statssa, sorry, .gov.za. And it takes 5 minutes. But I'm going to post the link on this on the actual post itself. But if you are still not certain, please, you're welcome to go to any governmental department, go to the libraries, they will assist you. And the nice thing about this is that you can do it from the comfort of your home if you're comfortable doing it. And if you don't feel comfortable or you don't know quite how to do it, go to your local library, come to the municipal offices. There are municipal offices throughout George that will be more than willing to assist you in getting online to get the stats in there.
And until when do I have to do this?
Unfortunately, time is running out. The last day is the 31st of this month. So I recommend that you do it as soon as possible. Remember, if it's done, it's done, and we don't have to worry about it for the next 10 years. And from my side, I'd like to say thank you very much for affording me the time, Melissa. And to the residents of George, please accept this for what it is. Data collection for the purpose of improving lives throughout the country. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.